Hi, you guys, and thank you so much for joining me on a date with Ashley D. Today, I have a very special guest, my mentor by the name of Naya Matthews, who's going to be joining us on today. She has some very interesting things in store for you all, so I hope you're ready. Anaya, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I am a certified master life coach. I am a entrepreneur. I am a author. I am a speaker. I'm a mentor. I am a two-time breast cancer survivor. I'm a wife of an NFL player and a mom. So, and I'm sure some many other titles that come with that, but that's about it.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you have your hands full, Naya.
I do.
and
I actually do.
yes, ma'am. And you did say that you have a mentor group. Can you tell us a little bit about your mentor group?
Yes, it's Soulful Sessions with Nye. It's a mentoring group. Actually, it's a form of coaching where I help women find that balance in their life. I help women find that zen in their life, overcoming obstacles, trying new things. I'm definitely that person that is going to hold you accountable, foot to the neck, as you know,
That's
but
right.
so that you can birth your purpose. So that exactly what I do.
Yes, it is amazing, and thank you so much for allowing me to join your mentor program as well. Because of you, I was able to have the right connections. I was able to publish my first book, Bent but Not Broken. So I just thank you so much for that. Thank you for your knowledge and expertise. Thank you.
You are welcome.
And you did also mention that you are a two times breast cancer survivor. So I know that breast cancer can be scary, and it's the second leading cause of cancer death. So can you tell us a little bit about how old you were when you first were diagnosed, and the process of it, everything that happened?
Sure. I was 27 years old when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had just moved to the city of Atlanta and I didn't know anyone. Nobody in my family had cancer at that time. So it was definitely something that was life changing. I was still trying to find my way by moving to the city of Atlanta and working with HUD, doing real estate. So I could not understand what in the world God had in store for me, all while dealing with breast cancer. But I look at it now and I said it was a curse that actually saved my life because it put me in the direction of my actual purpose. And it takes sometimes people years to find out what that purpose is, but
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely breast cancer for me. I was just doing a routine check in the shower, checking my breast, and I found a lump. And because you didn't run in the family, and I didn't really know what to look for, I kind of put it on the back burner. Didn't really press about what it could have been. But after about 3 weeks, I did another exam. It was still there, and this time I had some type of like a bloody discharge. And so I talked to my mom, and she said you need to go get checked out. And when I did, I was already in stage 2 breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
So with that came depression. With that came me asking God, why me? With that came a whole lot of crying and a lot of darkness. But on the other side of that, I was able to connect with an amazing support group that helped me, push through that thing and write my emotions and feelings and write what life was about, write the direction where I was going. And it ended up becoming like a part of why I wrote my first book.
Okay, well, I'm definitely sorry to hear that you did have to experience breast cancer, but thank God that you made it through and you're alive and well today. And because of your underlying illness, you also were diagnosed with COVID when COVID first hit. And a lot of us were scared when COVID first came out because we didn't know what this was, how it was going to affect us. So, can you tell us a little bit about how you were affected by COVID and how you overcame COVID?
Yes, I listen. COVID scared everybody. I think it still put some fear in a lot of people, but also what it did was to me, I think it was the earth, the world needed a reset. And as scary as it was, going in the hospital, going into renal failure, going into kidney failure, I saw, I actually was like on the cuff of death door. But I remember on the fourth day being at Emory Hospital where God came and he literally, if you're a faith-based person, you're going to understand what I'm saying. But God came in that hospital room and immediately I felt a warm touch and healing came thereafter to the point where my doctors were shocked, the nurses were shocked, everybody's trying to figure out what's going on because mind you, it was still new.
Right.
Everybody's still wearing PPP and the PPE uniforms. I said PPP, I mean PPE uniforms,
Right. Uh huh.
and was afraid of it. But God came in there, healed my body, and about a day after that, I was released and put in quarantine. But I'm gonna tell you something. Again, God came in there with miracle signs and wonders, got me together. I started speaking as an advocate for, getting understanding about social distancing and flattening the curve. And again, God always uses me, the son
Right.
of to come in here and educate the people.
That's right. Well, he's using a great vessel to educate people, must I add.
Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Now, is there like any encouraging words you can like share with people that are going through underlying health conditions and illnesses, and they're pretty much in a sunken place and they're very depressed and going through the different emotions?
Yes, I would say, it takes some, you got to have support, right? You got to have support, and whatever your foundation is, mine is always starts with faith first, and then my husband and family. So it's getting around those who are encouraging you to go to get checked, go to the doctors. It's also about you being aware of your body, listen to the signals. Just like a car has signals when you need to put gas in it, check oil, check engine. Our body do the exact same thing. We got to listen to it. So if you follow me on social media, you see I'm an advocate, I'm a farmer, I'm a gardener, and I do everything that's within that's pertinent to being healthy, having a healthy life, healthy eating, being aware. And I just say get back to the basics of that, so that it's not too late, so that it can be corrected and put you on the right path to living that long, prosperous life that God destined for you to have.
Amen. I totally agree, and thank you for sharing your wisdom, Naya. And you did mention as well your garden, and I mentioned your garden as well in one of my other podcasts. But can you tell us what made you want to get into gardening?
Same thing, health reasons. My husband was dealing with diabetes. I had some borderline high blood pressure, some high cholesterol, and it was all about me eating. And my primary physician told me that if I didn't make some changes and make them soon, I would be, subjected to being on medication for the rest of my life. And that is not my portion.
That's
so
right.
I decided to, once we moved to the country, because if you follow me, we lived in the city for a while after my daughter went off to college, but we decided to move to the country and live on land. And living on our land required me to learn about gardening. So I went to YouTube University and learned how to garden and grow my own food. And by me doing that, now I find myself educating my friends and my community about how to do the same thing, and learning how to homestead and live on your land, and understanding that health is actually to wealth.
That's right.
And like I said, anything will preach to you, Ashley, and I'm just using my learning of gardening, preach to me, to then preach to my following and to my audience, to my followers. And now my customers, because they buy my produce, and now they buy my chicken eggs.
So tell us, how can we find you on social media? Because you have such a big platform already, but of course we always want to add to it, because you have some amazing things to share. And even just watching your gardening start from the very first day to what it is now, it has, it's so amazing. So how can everyone follow you and learn some of your skills?
They can follow me on social media. I am Nia Brown Matthews on most of all my platforms. And then if you follow, especially on Instagram, you're able to click the link and go to my website with Soul Food Sessions with Nia.com. And I promise I'm going to start blogging more, and even maybe hosting a course on how you can start your own garden or start your own farm. But you can definitely connect with me via my social media.
That's awesome. And reverting to your husband, because you spoke of him being, a retired NFL player, then you also spoke about, your support system when you were going through your illness and all. Can you give us some helpful tips on having a successful marriage and a healthy marriage? Because, healthy marriage, it really stands out to me. So can you give a single lady some tips on how I can, even with that being single, what can I do to, make someone want to put a ring on it, So what are some healthy tips?
Absolutely. I hear that so much. So, I'm in Atlanta, so I know it's about 10-1 now with a woman trying to find a man, but I am definitely old school. I made my husband court me. He understood my values. He understood my faith. And he waited. And I feel that he that finds a wife finds a good thing, versus us women trying to be so strong and going out there and proposing to men folks. Honey, I'm seeing it on social media. I said, excuse me, what's happening? But I believe that when we are ready, that's when our mate would find us. But while we're in the wait, we make sure that we are in order. Our faith is in order. Our finances is in order. Our principles and our morals and values are in order. And when you do that, I believe God will divinely connect you with your partner. And my husband and I love you. We know each other's love language. I'm really big on that. I'm really big on pillow talk, communication,
Yes.
because that goes a long way because he is not nobody's psychic. Okay. So I
Right.
just feel like communication is key to a healthy marriage, especially as with faith, because that's one of number one for me in our marriage is faith.
Okay, thank you for sharing those healthy tips, Naya. And one more thing here, if you don't mind, submissiveness. How do you feel about being submissive in a marriage and also just a woman being submissive before marriage?
I am, listen, at first, when I first married my husband, I was a true epitome of a boss lady. I was in charge. I wanted to be in charge, but God told me that was out of order because the
Okay.
man is the head of household. And it's not, it has to do anything with money. It's about him covering your home. And so I don't mind being submissive to a man who fears God, a man who knows how to lead. I'll sit here and I don't know how to drive, I don't know how to cook, I don't know how to do nothing but get married, okay?
Right.
The man needs to feel like a man, and you need to empower him to feel like a man. So if he's doing that in that complete order, I have no problem with being submissive. I just think there's so many times we women want to do so much and don't know what our roles are, and we're exhausted for for that reason alone. We're
Right.
not meant to do all of that and then some. Let men carry. Let be the helpmate that they need and the support that they need so that they can definitely lead your home the right way.
Thank you
And
so much.
now people may call that old fashioned, but baby, it's working over here. 11 years in, and his parents been married for 50 years, and
Oh,
my father
wow.
was living. My parents will be married for 45 years. So listen, I have great examples to go by, and it works
Yeah,
in
you
my
do.
world.
Right. And just looking at you all on social media, it seems like, you all are very happy and, just everything, the happiness, it just speaks in the genuineness. So, and just being around you and your presence, it was just very warming to see two people in love. So thank you so much for sharing those helpful tips. And I'll definitely try to be a little bit more submissive in things. And hopefully that'll lead me down the aisle one day. And the audience as well, if they're single. And yes, and
When the time is right, you will definitely hit your Boaz and be right there and come knocking on your shoulder and asking you for your phone number. Or you just never know where you're gonna meet him. I met my husband on Facebook. People don't know that. This is before Facebook got a little creepy.
oh, you
But
did mention you met him through Messenger. So can you share with us? Because a lot of times women will be like, "Oh my God, he's in my Messenger. He's probably in everybody's Messenger." Then we just think about it in a negative aspect. So for the women out there who feel as though Messenger is like a negative thing, share with them your experience.
it's so crazy because this is before Facebook got weird or social media got weird. Because I hear now there's a whole song that goes down in the DM. Apparently it does because my husband sent me a DM message, and again, I didn't know if he was Jeffrey Dahmer or somebody gonna eat my skin. I don't know. I was like, so we did this cat and mouse back and forth in the inbox for over 6 months, and he did not give up. He was very, persistent on me becoming his girlfriend at that time. And so when I finally broke down and met him, we went on a hike at Sweetwater Creek Park, and we courted for 1 year, and I married him within that 1 year because God gave me the confirmation that that was going to be my husband and I was going to
Amen.
be his wife. So we are both hopeless romantics. I believe that if it's divine, it don't matter where it is. You might see him at the Quick Trip or something. I don't know. Your husband might be right there. But
That's
we
right.
have to just be in a place to receive that.
That's true.
And I was at that time, but he was very patient. And I'm just grateful that I answered that DM that day.
Well, that's good, and it does take patience to make relationships work, and like you said, trust, respect, all the above. So, thank you for sharing that, Naya. And before we finalize everything, was there anything else that you want to share with the audience, Naya?
Um, I think we've covered it. If you follow me, you know that I'm big on my faith and I'm big on coaching and helping people. I'm big on marriage. I'm big on health. It's like one big ball of all in one in my life. And I feel like if I know information, I know resources, I share it. So if
Yes, you do.
anybody's listening, just know that, I'm only a click away. I'm only a phone call away. If you need me to help you find that balance in your life between religion or relationship or business or, health, hit me up. Let me become your coach. Let me become your mentor so that I can help get you together.
Sounds good. And also, you can find me on Facebook as well as Instagram and YouTube as Ashley D Speaks. Please follow me on my social pages. That way, you can watch these different podcasts. Thank you so much for joining us today on A Date with Ashley D. And you all have a great day. Thank you so much, Anaya, for joining me. And you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You do the same. Thank you for
All
letting me
right.
be on your platform. Have
All
a
right.
great day.
Thank you. Bye bye.